Hello knitters, how are you? I hope you're well. It's been a bit of an intense time lately, I feel, and I thought I would just come and have a chat with you and talk about some really relaxing, simple knitting projects because everything's been so intense lately and I've gotten a little bit out of schedule. I have been intending to record something for a couple of weeks now and just haven't managed to get myself together to be able to get dressed, put makeup on and set up something to record and even think about what to talk about. I've been super scattered and that's okay. I just let myself have that moment. And in the meantime, August seems to have completely disappeared. And here we are. So I thought I would just make time to come and have a chat with you today, regardless of what's happening. And so thanks for joining me for a little chat. Today I thought I'd talk about hat knitting projects. I'm Helen of Curious Handmade, and here on YouTube I chat about creative projects, but mostly knitting, a little bit of other things as well, a little bit of gardening and quilting, all sorts really, but mostly it's all about the knitting. I've got my sweet little sugar glider mug. It's a series of Australian native animals that I bought when we first arrived back here in Australia. And I always find this little guy very cheerful and comforting. So one of the projects I've been meaning to update for ages is this design, very simple design, which is my easy bobble hat pattern. And this is baby Lexie. I love these photos so much. She's so cute. I designed this hat pattern when she was super young and adorable. She still is adorable, but she was particularly cute at that age. I guess she was about 2. I'm not sure. When did I post this? 2014, so closer to 3. That's a pretty cute age. And I thought I would do a little update of the pattern. I've always just had it published on the blog and never sort of in a PDF format. And so a little while ago, a few months ago, I gathered some yarn and it calls for really chunky yarn. So it's so I got some of this Franca from Manos del Uruguay, and I really liked this one. This is 100% superwash merino, and it's 114 yards and 105 meters per skein. So I bought 2 of these a little while ago. I just think these are really lovely, juicy colors. This one is called Granada, the pinky purpley magenta. It's got a bit of magenta there, I think. And this one is called Algas, which I don't know what that means, but I think it's probably Spanish for something. I'll have to look it up. And then I saw my friend Lisa from NNK Yarns was dyeing some lovely superwash merino. This is 80% merino, 20% nylon, this one. And it's a chunky singles. Similar construction to the Manos. I'm not sure if it's quite as thick. And so yeah, so I got 2 skeins of that as well. And this one is called Solstice. It's a gorgeous greeny blue. And then Wood Nymph. I don't know if you can see, it's Cindy got hold of this one. And I was able to rescue it before too much damage was done, I think. So I'm going to see. So I'm going to wind some yarn and cast on one of those little hats, and I thought I might also see if Lexie wants to have a go at knitting one as well. Lexie's super into her knitting. She just tends to go with her own creativity and is just always knitting something, but doesn't really turn into anything. So I thought that it would be really nice to help her do a project. So I don't know, I haven't talked to her about it yet. I'm not sure if she wants to or not, but she might want to, seeing as she sort of feels some sense of like ownership or participation in that pattern, seeing as she was the model for it. And we still have that hat, although it is very, the pom-pom is very bedraggled and kind of could do with a bit of a fixing up. But we do still have it, which is kind of amazing. And then the other thing I was thinking about doing was knitting just a really plain, easy hat pattern in DK weight. I have quite a few hat patterns from Knit Vent collections that I've really enjoyed knitting and wearing and designing, and I thought it could really do with just a completely plain hat. So I'm going to work on that idea as well. And I have this skein of gorgeous sweet fibre, which is Evergrey Merino Twist DK. This is 100% superwash merino. And I just love this colour. It's, I don't know what it is, kind of teal. Grey, obviously, grey's in it with the name Evergrey, but it's, I don't know if that's a bit of a play on words of evergreen, because it's definitely got some green in it. I just love it. So I thought that would make a really beautiful, beautiful hat. And I also pulled out, you can see this is, Cindy's got a hold of this one as well. Again, happily rescued before too much damage was done. I've got two skeins of this beautiful Infallible from Moleview yarns, and Paula does natural dye, and I actually used these colours for hats for last year's Knit Vent, I think, or the year before. I can't remember. I think it was just last year. It's so crazy. I don't know, time's just crazy at the moment. So I thought I could also just do some really plain hats in this as well, because I used it for hats and it was just beautiful. It's got a bit of silk in it. So this blend is 55% blue faced Leicester, 45% silk. So it's just gorgeous. So I'd like to knit something with these. And they're just single skeins now. I think I did have 2 of each of them, or maybe I think I might have had 3 of this one, but I knit a cowl and this as well, so now I just have the one of both of them. So I don't know, it could be, I guess it could be a shawl, but 2 skeins of DK is maybe a bit small for a shawl. Anyway, I'm thinking about hats. So yeah, so I think I'll do that. And I really love to put pom-poms on my hats. And I purchased these from the Grocery Girls. These gorgeous, I love this colour. I don't know what colour it is on their website. It's just so pretty. Really dusky pink. It's my favourite pink. Oh, just love it. And this minky grey is gorgeous as well. I think they look really nice together. I do have several others somewhere. in my stash as well, but I just had these to hand. So I just wanted to show you because I often get questions from people about where I get my pom-poms. So these are from the Grocery Girls, and I really like these because they have this great feature that you can tie them onto your hat and then remove them for washing rather than sewing them on. So yeah, so there's this ribbon and then this little keeper, like I think it's a rubber little disc. So you can put that on, get a big darning needle and thread the ties through, and then put this on the inside so that it makes it a bit more stable. And I just love those, and I love the fact that you can remove them. I have in the past used beautiful pom-poms from Toft Alpaca in the UK, and I always used to stock up on those whenever I would see them at a show, usually Edinburgh Yarn Festival in the good old days. So I really love those as well. They're sort of natural fibers. They're from alpacas that have passed away, and they have used the alpaca skin for those pom-poms. So if you're a vegan, that wouldn't be for you, but they are very beautiful and very soft. So I've enjoyed using those in the past. So let's see what state this yarn is in. I'm going to wind a little bit by hand, and I'll just maybe show you how I hand wind a yarn. So I think what I'll do is knit a couple of samples and update the pattern for the easy bobble hat. I'll probably keep the photos of baby Lexie in there, but maybe update with some newer photos as well. And yeah, I think this will look really pretty with this pom-pom. What do you think? Looks like a nice combination. I quite like making homemade pom-poms as well. And I think homemade pom-poms look really great in this chunky yarn. So that's another option, but I'm just not sure about yardage, whether I'll have enough yardage for pom-poms as well as knitting the hat, because I did use 2 skeins, I think. I can't really remember. I think I might have used 2 skeins when I knit the samples. Or maybe I just combined contrasting brims and pom-poms with across a couple of different hats. Can't quite remember how I did it or how many skeins I had. I knit a whole bunch for the girls' friends at one stage, and we did a fun little photo shoot with those as well up in Malmby in the Lake District when we had a get together with those friends up there. That was a really fun photo shoot. So I just lay the yarn across my lap, and I have a noster pinner here, which is a lovely tool to wind yarn, and you don't need one of these. You can use your thumb as a noster pinner. I think that's a Scandinavian word. I'm not sure which country. So you can use your thumb quite easily as well, but it's a bit easier with one of these. And then just make a little base. So I go around a few times making a base and then start going at an angle. I keep intending to do tutorials for a lot of these things. So I'll have to figure out my tutorial setup. Yeah, maybe just do a few tutorials of some stitches that I use. I've had a few questions about knitting socks, especially picking up the stitches around the gusset and things like that, that I've been thinking it would be nice to make a tutorial for. So So yes, something on my list to do. There's always something. But yeah, I'd really like to do that to help people with a few of my stitches that I use regularly, like the star stitch and some I-cord stitches, some things like that I use quite often. So yeah, I'd love to know in the comments if there's any particular tutorials you'd like me to do for things you've come across in my patterns or general techniques that you'd like me to talk about or do a tutorial for. I'm always happy to share my tips and tricks. I don't always feel like I have the most technical or up-to-date knowledge about how to actually knit. I'm always a bit self-conscious about teaching and telling people how to, but I'm very happy to share how I do it, and yeah, things that I've found work for me over the years. I do really love hand winding yarn because it gives you time to appreciate all the lovely subtleties of the colours and the feel of the yarn, and you get to know the feel of the yarn before you start knitting with it. So this has these amazing green speckles through it. It's just beautiful. So I'm just going to pause there with the winding. You don't need to see me winding a whole skein of yarn. And when I've wound it, I'm going to use these circular needles to cast on. So these are 10mm needles, which is a US 15. And I'm not sure about the length of the cable, but if it's too long to knit in the round, I'll just use magic loop method. I use magic loop for pretty much everything that I knit in the round. I use it for socks, hats, and then for hats when I get to the, what do you call it, the top? I think there's a name, the crown. When I get to the crown, I just use magic loop. So I'm going to use these needles and probably cast on an adult size so that I can wear it and model it, and then it can also fit younger people as well in the family. Like, I'm sure that Lexie will probably claim a blue one. Neither of the girls are that into pink anymore. I'm really probably the only one that still loves pink, so I might get to keep this one, which would be nice. So thanks for joining me for a little bit of a chat today. I hope you're well and not feeling too overwhelmed at the moment. There's a lot happening in the world, and yeah, just thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you again soon.